First of all, I begin with thanking our patron, Professor Parimal Vyas, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, and our Dean Ma'am, Professor Anjali Karolia, for always supporting us in our endeavors. Special thanks are due to Professor Meenakshi Mehan Ma'am. And Ma'am, I would like to welcome you on behalf of the committee. Thank you for joining us again and supporting us always. I would like to welcome our chairperson for the day, Dr. Ashutosh Singh Rathore, Secretary AOP Vadodara and Associate Professor, Department of Pediatrics at Dheeraj Hospital, Vadodara. We would like to welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I would like to request you to introduce the speakers for the day. The first speaker to the gathering.
Okay.
If you want, I can share this slide.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So, thank you so much, Food and Nutrition Department, for this opportunity to share the session. And I think without wasting much time, I would like to introduce our first speaker of the day, Dr. Samir Shah, who is a consultant pediatrician at Sami Hospital and Nagari Hospital, Vadodara, and currently the executive board member of AOP Gujarat, EB member of ID chapter, that is infectious disease chapter of IAP. Is the convener of website committee of IAP and also the executive board member of iCouncil, that is Indian Child Abuse and Child Labor Chapter of IAP. He is actually the backbone of Academy of Pediatrics Vadodara and has special interest in adolescent medicine, vaccination, and computer and medical informatics. So I welcome you, Dr. Samir sir, and would like to request you to start sharing your slide for your topic. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon to all, and thanks Ashutosh for giving my vibrant introduction. So I also feel something proud for myself, and my heartiest congratulations to all the stakeholders of WBW Alliance of the Vadodara for doing an excellent, wonderful work for doing this throughout the week and at the different level and different places. And my special congratulations to the whole team of the Department of the Food and Nutrition and Food and Nutrition Alumni Association of the MSU for organizing excellent, very successful international webinar series throughout the week. And today is the 6th day. I'm sharing my screen. So let's coming with to my topic, that is the promotion of the baby-friendly hospital initiative and knowing the international code of the marketing of breast milk substitute and IMS Act. I will try to cover as many as topics possible within the stipulated time of 30 minutes. So why it is important? Because about 500,500 children die every day because of the poor infant feeding practice. In addition, many children suffer long-term effects from poor infant feeding practice, including impaired development, malnutrition, and increased infectious and chronic illnesses. Rising rate of the obesity in children are also linked with the lack of the breastfeeding, and improved infant and young child feeding is relevant to the all part of the world. And we all know this importance of the breastfeeding that include the prevent 20% of the newborn death, 30% of the under 5 days, almost 11 times lesser chance of the diarrheal mortality if we exclusively breastfeed, 15 times lesser chance of the pneumonia-related mortality, and also benefits on rising of the IQ level of a child. Prevention of non-communicable diseases is also now well known correlated with the breastfeeding. There is always lesser hospital stay of the newborn, and maternal benefits are many, including the cancer prevention we all know. And for that purpose only, to be protecting, promoting, and supporting the breastfeeding in facility providing the maternity and newborn services, baby-friendly hospital initiative started. Let's look at the few key dates in the history of the breastfeeding and baby-friendly hospital initiative. If you see, it is almost started in 1979. At that time, because of the promotional activity from the breast milk substitute many companies are doing the illegal practices, and they are promoting that their things are very superior to the breastfeeding. And that's why at that time WHO and UNICEF meeting held at Geneva, and ultimately resolution started. If you see adoption of the International Code of the Marketing of the Breastfeeding Substitute come into the 1981. With few other things, important timeline that including launching of the baby-friendly hospital initiative in 1991, followed by revision in the 2006 and 7, and recently revised in 2018. But look at these two important red marks that I had also added, that is the IMS Act adopted by India in 1992, and it was reinforced in 2003. That is a really benchmark at that time, because of that thing. Now we are having a very less problematic advertisement is going on. We will definitely discuss when few slides comes. Let's first discuss the 10 steps of the successful breastfeeding revised on 2018 by WHO, and it will be divided into two parts. It is the critical management procedure and key clinical practice. The critical management procedure include the 1 and 2 points. 1 point is including compile fully with the International Code of the Marketing of the Breast Milk Substitute and its relevant World Health Assembly resolution. It have a written infant feeding policy that is routinely communicated to the staff and parents, established ongoing monitoring and data management, and ensure the staff have sufficient knowledge, competence, and skill to support the breastfeeding. We will definitely discuss in coming slide how we can do that and how we can promote that. The other points include the key clinical practices that include the discuss the importance and management of the breastfeeding with the pregnant woman and their family, facilitate immediate and uninterrupted skin-to-skin contact, and support mother to initiate breastfeeding as soon as possible after birth, support the mother to initiate and maintain the breastfeeding and manage common difficulty, and do not provide breastfeed newborn any food or fluid other than the breast milk unless medically indicated. Few more points include the enable mothers and their infant to remain together and to practice rooming in 24 hours a day, support mother to recognize and respond to their infant cue for feeding, counsel mother to the use at the risk of the feeding the bottle, teats and pacifier, and coordinate discharge so that parents and their infant have timely access to ongoing support care. In baby-friendly hospital initiative in India, it is also proposed to provide to benefit in the mother and child, including improved antenatal care, mother-friendly delivery services, diarrhea management, standardized institutional support of immunization, promotion of healthy growth and good nutrition, and widespread availability and adoption of family planning. So this is the extended baby-friendly initiative in India. Who can how we can certify the baby-friendly hospital? So there is a process that will be the stakeholders check the thing as a successful breastfeeding practices is going on or not. They are also following the International Code of the Marketing of the Breast Milk, and critical criteria for the mother's friendly care is available. If all these still will sufficient, institution will be given the certificate of the baby-friendly hospital. And the task force who are involved in the baby-friendly hospital certification involve the government of the India, UNICEF, WHO, and many professional organizations like TNI, BPNI, NNF, IAMA, FOXI, IAP, and so on. Let's discuss how we can promote this baby-friendly hospital initiative in the services they are providing. But these are the excellent infographics produced by the UNICEF and WHO to get the real good idea about the how we can improve these services. And that include the hospital services include not promoting the infant formula, bottle feed or teats, making baby-friendly care standard practice in these services, and keeping the track or support to the baby-friendly in the hospital premises. Again, any hospital or any institution that will not fulfill this criteria if their staff is not competent. And to make that staff competent, training the staff to support the mother on breastfeed and how we can explain them. That will be the ongoing process, and accessing their knowledge time to time is very, very important criteria to promote the breastfeeding initiative. And we all know anything related to pregnancy, if we will implement and start with the antenatal care, it is always really having an excellent impact on the family members of the pregnant mother and mother also. And so that's why same is for the breastfeeding initiative, and discussing the importance of the breastfeeding for babies and what are the importance to the mother also. If we continuously starting discussing with the mother timely at the time of each antenatal visit, it will definitely prepare the mother how to feed the baby at the real time. And it is a really excellent window at that time. Any complicated problem like this inverted or flat nipple or other breast milk related problems, if we take care at the antenatal care, it will really help a mother to give up absolutely breastfeed, and they are mentally and physically prepared to give the breastfeeding. And most important step is that at the time of the birth, encouraging the skin to skin contact between the mother and baby as soon as possible after birth is very, very important. And now the baby crowd is very known to each and every pediatrician and gynecologist. They are practicing putting the child immediately on the mother's tummy, and the baby start the crowd and start the breastfeeding earlier. Same thing at the time of the during the stay also, regularly checking the positioning and attachment of the suckling, giving the practical breastfeeding support, and helping the mother with a common breastfeeding problem is very, very important to continue and extended breastfeeding exclusively for 6 months and extended up to the 2 years. And keeping in mind, supplementing is as far as avoided if many medical reason to the mother or child is there. Otherwise, it will be definitely avoided. And if required, we have to give enough knowledge about which type of the supplementation of the feeding that we can start. That prioritized by the donor human milk when supplementation is needed from the human milk bank, and helping the mother who want to formula feed to do this safely. We have to teach them all the steps of proper management. And lastly, zooming in is very, very important for the improvement of the maternal and child bonding, and letting the mother and baby stay together throughout the night. Lastly, important is the responsive feeding, helping the mother to know when their baby is hungry, and early cue of the diagnosis of the hunger. So baby should not reach up to the irritable and very irritable cry. That is the important thing, and that will be also included, not limiting the breastfeeding time. And that is the most culprit that will be the related with the bottle and feed and pacifier feeding, and that habit should be avoided. And counseling mother on the use of the risk of such type of the thing will be really help when the child go at the home with the mother with safely. And that's why the discharge criteria is also very, very important, and referring the mother to the community resources if they are not aware, staying in the city, and they are staying in the far away from the city. They have to communicate with the local female healthcare worker and other support staff, and working with the community and encouraging them to give the exclusive feeding for 6 months and continuation of the breastfeeding for the 2 years. So this is all about how we can protect, prevent, and promote the breastfeeding exclusively and avoid the any other breastfeeding substitution. But ultimately, we having a goal of mother's milk is the best for the baby, and to improve anything, we have to require some legislative action, and then we can practically promote this type of the activity. And that's why in 1992, India adopted the Infant Milk Substitute Act, and that was again reinforced in 2003. And let's understand what is the importance of IMS Act. Mainly suboptimal breastfeeding practice, including the non-exclusive breastfeeding, contributing approximately 12% of the death among the children under 5 years of the age, And in India, this contribution is significant, as exclusive breastfeeding will be as low as around 35.8% in some Indian states. So in 1992, India adopted this infant milk substitute feeding bottle and infant food means IMS Act, which is strengthened in 2003 to clear the few delicacies or deficiency in Act of 1992. And monitoring is the IMS Act is undertaken by the 4 NGOs, food safety officials and other government officials authorized by the government and specified in section 21. IMS Act is almost having a 26 section and almost 8 pages length. So we can't take all the IMS Act in detail, but definitely we can give the specific ideas or the messages that will be coming out of this act, and that will be included mainly in 3 divided things that will be related to the personal specific related section, then including the institute related section, and lastly to the honor of the infant substitute making personnel. So that we will discuss in one by one. So IMS Act says no person shall advertise for the distribution, sale or supply or infant milk substitute feeding bottle or infant food. No person shall give an impression or create a belief in any manner that feeding of infant milk substitute and infant food are equivalent or better than the mother's milk. Promote infant milk substitute feeding bottle or infant food. And no one can sell, supply or distribute sample of infant milk substitute or feeding bottle or infant food, any gift of utensils or other articles, and they can't contact any pregnant woman or mother of infant or offer inducement of any of the above things what we described. So this is the personal level precaution that will be given in IMS Act. Also, infant milk substitute Act also says the infant milk substitute or the infant food container must indicate in a clear, conspicuous and easily readable and understandable manner the word important notice in capital letters which mother's milk is best for your baby. That is really nicely presented here. A winning and really warning formula is not the solely the source of the infant, and given the instruction for the safe and clean preparation and the composition among other particulars. So IMS Act clearly indicate what the each and every substitute particularly required that should be not should be given on the container when it will be usable. At the same time, infant milk substitute or the infant food container must indicate the container and label are not allowed any picture of the woman or infant. Advertisement and promotional material or the formula must include the benefits and superiority of the breastfeed and hazard of improper preparation and use of the formula among their stipulations. Act strictly ban the promotion or distribution of the formula material in any healthcare system. Formula producers, supplier, and distributors are prohibited from giving any financial inducement directly or indirectly to the any health worker, any medical professional, or any institution or any association. It have also having a specific punishment that will be indicated. It reiterates the strict standard of the formula nutritional composition established by the previous law, establishes the right to confiscation of inappropriate formula, establishing monitoring the right of the government and approve the NGO, food safety officials and other government officials. And violation of this act is stipulated as up to the 3 years prison sentence and may be combined with the 5,000 rupees fine. Where to report this violation? It may be either reported to the Breastfeeding Promotional Network of the India, Association of the Consumer Action on Safety and Health, or Indian Council of Child Welfare, or Central Social Welfare Board. We can report any of these 4 bodies that is stipulatedly given this attached with this type of the violation act. Again, any act or any enforcement, if we not do proper monitoring and enforcement of that, it will not really work good. And that's why in India, we had also enforced that thing. An international study on implementation of the worldwide international code of marketing of the breast milk substitute state that India has one of the most stringent legislation protection breastfeeding. And in 2016 study on the prevalence of the formula marketing found almost fully compliance of with the code in India. And there was no point of self-promotion in its stores, very low incidence of non-compliance on label, and formula company representative had little direct contact with the mother or healthcare worker. And that's why we having a real clear-cut implementation of the act. Previously, that was the presentation of the formula packet, and now we have a no thing and child and mother on this label, and again important notice is there, and that is the really good implementation of the act. So, according to the Indian Rapid Survey in 2013 and 14, exclusive breastfeeding rate of 64.9 compared with the global average of the 38%. And that is the ultimate impact of this monitoring and enforcement. And access to a nutritional study state that the 7 northern states of the India, where 1/2 of the Indians are born, and almost 3/4 of the infant death occur. Rate of early initiation of the breastfeeding within 1 hour of the birth increased from 12.4% in 2006 to almost 42.1% in 2011. Again, exclusive breastfeeding rate jumped from 36.8% in 2000 to 58.3% in 2005 and 64.9% in 2014 due to the promotional, educational, and training activities regarding infant and young feeding, but also due to the enforcement of legislation such as the IMS Act. And while infant formula sales in the large market as China has risen drastically from 1 billion to almost 3.5 billion in 2008, India has only 500 million market, and that will remaining steady throughout the year, indicate the commitment to keeping the infant formula company away in lieu of promoting breastfeeding and inherent benefits. But everywhere, if anything will be legislation, it always has challenges and risks. Then that it is same also for the IMS Act. So many countries have enacted a national code of breast milk substitute into the law, but monitoring and enforcement of this have challenged due to the issue with financial, technical, and personal capacity and might of the formula company. They will directly governing this type of the body. Life sentence to companies violation the IMS Act minimize the effectiveness and strict Indian legislation, and political will at the highest level is very crucial for both effective legislation and enforcement of the legislation. So lastly, key message in communication campaign that we have to try that include the early initiation of the breastfeeding, no pre-lactal, even no water, myths to overcome the no enough milk, emotional and overall support to the lactating mother, advocacy to great gatekeepers such as mother-in-law, husband and mother, family member, and where to go in case of the difficulty in the feeding. Campaign also should cover breastfeeding in case of the working mother, ill effect of infant milk substitute, reduce incidence of the diarrhea and pneumonia, reduce risk of the hospitalization and related mortality, and very emphasize the increase in the IQ level of almost 8 to 10 points and decrease in the risk of the non-communicable disease in later in the life. So lastly, global strategy of infant and young child feeding mainly aim to improve the nutritional status, growth and development, health and thus survival of the infant and young children through the optimal feeding, and further strengthening of the baby-friendly hospital initiative by implementation of baby-friendly hospital initiative, monitoring and reassessing the already designated facility, and expanding the initiative to include the clinics, health center, and pediatric hospital. Thank you. I'm completing my presentation and open for discussion. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Samir sir.
Okay.
That was an excellent presentation on IMS Act. I think medical representatives, those who meet us, are now very skeptic to share any sample of these products now, and we are very skeptic कि नहीं आप एक बार signature करो तो आपको तो ही मिलेगा नहीं तो मिलेगा नहीं. So I think in last year it was excellently implemented. It's a good thing to see.
Absolutely.
So I would like to thank Dr. Samir sir for his excellent presentation. And for the next topic, I would like to invite Dr. Shruti Kantawala. She is the assistant professor in the Department of Food and Nutrition and the Faculty of Family and Community Sciences at MS University. She is a BPNI certified lactational consultant and also a IYCF specialist with a teaching experience of more than 8 years, uh, and she has been working with many government and non-government organization with variety of initiatives in nutrition for more than 16 years. So she has an excellent CV, and I humbly welcome Dr. Shruti Kantawala for the next topic, that is impact of breastfeeding substitutes on environment. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the introduction. I would request
Dr. Shruti, I'm
Dr.
sharing your screen.
You're not audible. I think
Sir, I'm not audible.
you're audible, but आपका आवाज थोड़ा कम आ रहा है बस. हाँ बस. बस थोड़ा जोर से बोलिएगा ये.
Okay, sir.
You can share your screen now. Vijeta madam, you're not audible.
Yes, I am sharing the screen. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Is the screen visible to you?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Now
Is
it is
visible now?
Yes.
In the slideshow mode?
Yes. 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 Thank you, Dr. Vijita. I would begin my presentation with the topic impact of breast milk substitutes on environment. Next slide. In continuation to the talk given by Dr. Samisha on what is IMS and how does it protect and promote breastfeeding, let's learn about what are breast milk substitutes. Next. Breast milk substitutes are the foods being marketed or presented as a partial or total replacement for breastfeeding, whether or not suitable for any purpose. There are 4 types of breast milk substitutes. Before I move on, I would like to say that the images shown in the presentation are not for any promotional activity, but the purpose is to educate and create awareness about the most common breast milk substitutes being marketed in the country. There are 4 types of breast milk substitutes. First is infant formula for children less than 6 months. Second is follow-on formula for children 6 months to 1 year. Third is toddler milk formula or growing up milk for children more than 12 months of age. And the last is the special baby formulas, which are specialized for babies with special nutritional needs or allergies, such as soy-based formulas. Breast milk substitutes not only talks about the foods, but it also talks about the products which are intended for consumption as a replacement for breast milk, such as feeding bottles and teats, which are made up of various materials like plastics, glass, or steel. Milk-based formulas dominate the global breast milk substitutes. Milk formula are a combination of many industrially manufactured ingredients like milk powder, vegetable oil, high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, and is enriched with various vitamins and minerals. Formula milk are further segmented into powdered, concentrated liquid, and ready-to-use formula milk. Powdered formula markets powdered formula market witnessed the highest demand owing to cost effectiveness and high adoption of such infant nutrition products, as powdered formula can be easily administered along with breast milk, and it easy to use for the easy to use. Other than the milk products, soy-based formulas are available in the market and are in all the three forms, that is powdered, concentrated liquid, and ready to use. Let's have a quick history of what is breast milk substitutes. Next slide. Before 1860, breastfeeding was the optimum food for growth and requirements and nourishment of the child. Next. Breast milk substitute was introduced in late 1860s, but still breastfeeding was promoted, and only under the medical conditions, breast milk substitutes was recommended. Several years later, 1930s to 70, the rate of breastfeeding fall down to as low, previous slide. Several years later, in 1930s to 1970, the rate of breastfeeding fall down to as low as 14% due to the aggressive marketing efforts made to promote breast milk substitutes in the less developed countries, as there was a high birth rate ensured a huge demand. The drivers which led to the breast milk substitutes promotion were the increased marketing done by the companies, more awareness and acceptance by the mothers. Next slide, Vijay. More awareness as well as the acceptance of infant formula by the mothers, high birth rate coupled with the rise in the number of premium infant nutrition products, and the increase in the number of women in the employment sector. Next. Global market of breast milk substitute is increasing rapidly. In 2008, the global market of breast milk substitute was $31 million, which was almost double to 60 million in the year 2018. According to the Global Market Insights report, it is projected to increase to 119 million, that is almost double in less than a decade. It is noted that sales of breast milk substitutes has increased at 8 to 10% per year and more in low and middle income countries, even during the economic recession. Next. Companies that promote breast milk substitutes through various channels. Internet marketing via company sites and social media is also on the rise. Availability and purchase of breast milk substitute is convenient in retail stores and holds a significant share in marketing breast milk substitutes. Also, and not most of these substitutes do not require prescription. Inappropriate marketing of breast milk substitute continues to undermine the effects to improve the breastfeeding rates, and the pandemic situation last year, it led to an increase in the threat. Next. In India, the retail stores held a significant market share of $28 million in 2018. The other distribution channel, such as e-commerce platforms, baby stores, and other channels, have estimated to grow 10% compound annual growth rate till 2025. That shows that in spite of the act being implemented, breast milk substitutes are still being marketed easily through the retail shops. Next slide. Production and consumption of breast milk substitutes comes with an environmental cost. Next. What is carbon footprint? A carbon footprint is the amount of greenhouse gases produced, mainly the carbon dioxide, produced by a particular human activity like production, transportation, which is expressed in kilograms of carbon dioxide equivalents. This metric takes account not just carbon dioxide, but also the other greenhouse gases such as methane and nitrous oxide. Next. The chart here summarizes the global sources of greenhouse gas emission. Roughly 1/5 of the all greenhouse gas emission comes from our land, use of land, mainly from deforestation and emissions from livestock. As we can see, 20% is reported from agriculture and land, which is the second most contributor. Next. Food accounts for over a quarter of greenhouse gas emission globally by producing 13.2 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalents from the land use to the packaging of the food. Next. Animal-based products generally have a higher climate impact than the plant-based foods due to the emissions released from the livestock, mainly the ruminant-like cattle, contribute to emissions in several ways. Example, emissions from feed production, manure management, and cattle producing methane gas through their digestive process, which is known as enteric fermentation. Next. In the first stage, that is the land use, twice the emission is resulted from the land use for livestock as for the crops for human consumption. So that shows that livestock doubles the burden of greenhouse gas emission. Next. Next. At the production stage, nitrous oxide is released from the manure and fertilizers used for agricultural, methane emission from production, and carbon dioxide from the machinery. So these are the gases which are produced at the production stage. Supply chain, next. Supply chain accounts for 18% of food emissions. Food processing, that is converting produce from the farm into the final products, transportation, packaging, and retail all require energy and resource inputs. Breast milk substitutes are commonly packed in tin cans with plastic resealable lids or packs consisting of a plastic bag in a paper box, leading to an increase in 45 to 50% of the greenhouse gas emissions. Next. Next. Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. You're
Yeah.
audible.
Okay. Can you please move to the next slide?
I think she has lost the connection.
I'm sorry, I lost the connection. I've been logged in again. I am sharing the screen back again. Is the screen visible? Shruti,
Yes,
this
yes.
is what you
Yes,
see?
yes, yes. I have spoken this. Can you please move to the next slide? The manufacturing process for milk formula involves various methods to combine the ingredients to prescribed standards. Next. Carbon footprint of breast milk substitute is assessed through 3 steps. That is the carbon footprint at the production stage, preparation of the breast milk substitute at the household level, and the consumption of the breast milk substitutes. Greenhouse gas emissions significantly varies from one country to another in which the breast milk substitute is being produced. Next. A report of greenhouse gases due to formula milk done in 4 in the Asia Pacific region, mainly China, Malaysia, Philippines, India, South Korea, and Australia, reported that the greenhouse gas emissions of standard infant formula and follow-on formula produced was 3.95 to 4.04 kilograms carbon dioxide equivalents per kg of breast milk substitutes. Next. A study evaluating the carbon footprints in 4 countries, that is New Zealand, USA, Brazil, and France, showed that the carbon footprint incurred in producing 1 kg of packaged breast milk substitute at the factory gate varied from 7.1 to 11 kg carbon dioxide equivalents per kg of breast milk substitute, and depending on the country on which it was produced. At the consumption level, the carbon footprints included the carbon footprints of breast milk production, emissions related to transport from plant to retail outlet, baby bottle manufacturing, and in-home sterilization and breast milk preparation. The carbon footprint from consumption, that is from cradle to bottle, of 1 kg powdered breast milk substitute varied from 11 to 14 kg carbon dioxide equivalents per kg of the breast milk substitute. The carbon footprint of breast milk is calculated on the basis of the additional diets consumed by the mother and the estimated carbon footprint of the average additional diets range from 0.33 to 0.45 kg carbon dioxide equivalents per kg of breast milk substitutes. Thus, the additional average diet is highly dependent on the type of the food that the mother consumes, as well as the quantity in which the food is being consumed. Next. Breast milk substitutes, the inappropriate use and unnecessary use of breast milk substitute is associated with an increased risk of diarrheal and respiratory diseases leading to infant mortality, and it negatively affects the mother as it decreases the production of breast milk and fastens the resumption of fertility, which is well established. Next slide. So, highlighting that feeding breast milk substitutes has a higher carbon footprint than breastfeeding. Dairy farming contributes most of the carbon footprint of breast milk substitutes, around 30% of global greenhouse gases. Methane production from livestock is second only to the production by the oil and gas industry, and methane traps the heat in the Earth's atmosphere 30 times more potently than the carbon dioxide. Thus, it is leading to an increase in 1% change in the climate. Next. Most formulas are based on powdered cow's milk. The average water footprint of whole cows is around 940 liters per kg. 1 kg of milk gives 200 grams of milk powder, meaning the water footprint of milk powder alone is roughly around 4,700 kgs per liter per kg. Sterilization of bottle contributes most to the consumption phase emissions. In terms of waste, 550 million infant formula can, comprising 86,000 tons of metal and 364 tons of paper, are added to landfills every year. Next. The solutions to reduce carbon footprint of milk, one should focus on improving the genetics, yielding better milk production, high fertility rates, reduce the use of fertilizers, reduce the concentrated feeds, and carbon storage by reforestation and carbon storage under the soil and water. Next. Knowing the detrimental effects of breast milk substitutes and the IMS Act, the mother looks for a solution for a lactating mother. Keeping the public health importance of breastfeeding in view, there are several policies and programs launched by various ministries of Government of India from time to time, which have included breastfeeding as a major component. Some of these, like the IMS Act, are the guiding of enhancing optimal IVCF practices, and the MA program, which is specifically dedicated to protection, promotion, and support for breastfeeding. Next, the first step to ensure 10 steps, the first step in successful breastfeeding is to ensure the 10 steps of successful breastfeeding at institutional delivery points by having a baby-friendly hospitals, including the private hospitals. Next. Breastfeeding counseling is essential for increasing the breastfeeding rate. WHO recommends skilled counseling at multiple points, right from antenatal care to the child's second birth, with an aim to empower parents and families to support and protect breastfeeding. Next. Ongoing support for first 1,000 days can be done by creating a warm chain of support for breastfeeding and engaging fathers and partners or family members to support the shared domestic responsibility and care of the baby and the mother. Next. All women have the right to be supported by the society to breastfeed optimally. Maternity Benefit Acts comes under the Social Security legislation and is the answer to promote breastfeeding for a longer period of time. As we have seen that these are one of the reasons where mother introduces breast milk substitutes. In 2017, the country passed the Maternity Amendment Bill and which was a part of Maternity Benefit Act in 1961. The reason was to increase the right to paid maternity leave for working women from 12 weeks to 26 weeks, so that ensuring that mother gets time to build up her strength and exclusively breastfeed her baby. This act is applied for establishment with more than 10 employees, and all the women working in organized, unorganized sector or on a contract and permanent basis are eligible for the act. To avail the maternity benefit, next slide. To avail the maternity benefit, a woman should have worked in the establishment for 80 days in 12 months before her date of delivery, and the process for leave application varies from company to company. Next. Maternity benefits are of two types, cash benefits and non-cash benefits. Cash benefits include full pay to the mother for 26 weeks, whereas non-cash benefits include no discharge or dismal when on maternity leave, light work for 10 weeks before delivery, and no charge to be made on her in case of any in any of the conditions to her job while she's on maternity leave. 2 nursing breaks until the child is 15 months old. The first-time moms and mothers having a second child are eligible for full maternity leave up to 26 weeks. She can avail this for a period extending from 8 weeks before the expected delivery date, and the remaining time can be availed post-childbirth for 26 post-delivery. For a woman who have their third child, the duration of paid maternity leave is 12 weeks, 6 weeks pre and 6 weeks post. For mothers who have their baby via surrogacy or adopting a child below the age of 3 months, a maternity leave of 12 weeks is available. And in case of miscarriage or medical terminal of pregnancy, leave up to 6 weeks is permitted. Next. The Amendment Act has mandated a creche facility for every establishment employing 50 or more employees. Also, to promote breastfeeding after 6 months of life, the women employees should be permitted to visit the facility 4 times during the day to express out breast milk and to rest. The Amendment Act makes it compulsory for employers to educate women about the maternity benefits available to them at the point of their appointments. Next. Paternity leave, currently no legal clause in India. In government sector, the central government has made provision for paternity leave from 15 days, which the father can avail either 7 days prior or within 6 months from the date of delivery, and valid for only 2 children. In private companies, no set laws, and it varies from 15 days to 26 weeks. I would just share a few examples, like Microsoft offers 12 weeks of paternity leave, Facebook offers 17 weeks, UNICEF offers 16 weeks. On the other hand, Infosys gives its employees 5 days of TCS 15 days, and Zomato also introduced a maternity policy wherein they will be offering 26 weeks of paid maternity to both men as well as women. Next. To summarize, breastfeeding uses few resources and produces minimal or zero waste. It safeguards infant nutrition health in terms of adversity and disasters due to global warming, also help us in protecting the planet. So let's all come together to promote optimal breastfeeding practices to have a healthy generation next and a healthy nation. It will also help us in reducing the carbon footprints. I would end my presentation with saying, promote breastfeeding is a key towards sustainable development goals. Breastfeeding is smartest investment families, communities, and countries can make. Global investment in breastfeeding far too low, and an annual investment of only $4.70 per newborn is required to achieve or to increase the global rate of exclusive breastfeeding by 50% till 2025. Thank you all.
Thank you, Shruti ma'am. Thank you for the excellent presentation. So, to summarize these two topics, I must say we have an IMS Act, which is a very strong act, which prohibits the promotion of any kind of breast milk substitute, thereby promoting the breastfeeding. So every practitioner should know about it, so that any practice which is going against it, we can actually stop it. And secondly, there are benefits of not using breast milk substitute on the environment also, because I think I have met someone, once he asked me, do you know non-vegetarians are nothing different from vegetarians until unless they are vegans, because those who are actually drinking milk, they are using the milk of the cow or buffalo, and this milk is actually produced only when this buffalo and cow is being impregnated again and again, and you are taking away their calf, and actually it is actually inhuman practice if you see like that. So if you are promoting breast milk substitute, you are actually devouring more and more such cows and more such buffaloes, and thereby providing some carbon footprint on the environment. So, and now let me tell you my experience. I go for a seizure, and next day when I come for the rounds, I see there is a formula landing there on the table of the mother. I asked the mother, क्यों भैया, क्यों ये formula चालू किया, दूध क्यों नहीं आया? Sorry. So मदर का जवाब आता है कि मुझे बहुत दर्द है, आई कैन नॉट ब्रेस्ट फीड माई चाइल्ड. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने बोल दिया कि ठीक है मैं दूध नहीं पिलाऊंगी, फार्मूला पी. आई आस्क्ड द रिलेटिव, आपने क्यों प्रमोट नहीं किया? रिलेटिव ने कहा इसके पहले वाला बच्चे को भी ऐसा ही था, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, पहले दूसरे दिन तो थोड़ी दूध आता है. तो हमारा बच्चे ने अच्छे से दूध पिया, डब्बे का दूध पिया और ही इज वेल, कोई दिक्कत थोड़ी आती है. आई आस्क्ड द ऑब्स्टेट्रिशियन, भैया आपने क्यों प्रमोट नहीं किया? ऑब्स्टेट्रिशियन का केयरलेस एटीट्यूड, बिकॉज दे हैव टू सिट देयर, एक्सप्रेस देयर, क्योंकि समटाइम्स फर्स्ट डे सेकंड डे थोड़े निप्पल के जो पोर्स हैं उनको खोलना पड़ता है. तो उन्होंने कहा ठीक है, दे आर बिजी वेरी, ठीक है, उन्होंने फॉर्मूला दे दिया. आई आस्क्ड द कलीग पीडियाट्रिशियन कि भाई आप लोगों ने क्यों प्रमोट नहीं किया? They have their own excuse. The child may get NHBI, that is neonatal hypoglycemic brain injury. However, I think if at all medically indicated, one should use this formula milk or breast milk substitutes, because most of the time, if you motivate the mother and the relatives, and if the obstetricians are very keen कि नहीं ये तो promote करना ही है, then थोड़ा 1-2 दिन का थोड़ा मेहनत होता है, then breastfeeding is the easiest thing to do, and I think most of the things are covered by Dr. Sameer sir and Shruti ma'am. So I would like to hand over my mic to I think where is she?
Sir, I'm here. Thank you.
Vijayata ma'am. Yeah. Dr. Vijayata ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
Summarize.
very much, Dr. Ashish. Vijayata, just a minute. Thank you very much, Dr. Sameer and Shruti, for excellent presentation. I just have one angle, which Shruti's research showed last time, that, even if you give maternity leave, it may not automatically translate into exclusive breastfeeding rates. So, I think we also as pediatricians need to look at this aspect and counsel the mother every time the mother comes for vaccination of the child or something of that kind, because this is what has been shown from the data of Shruti. Shruti, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, ma'am, I can. Before I say, Dr. Ashutosh already said what is happening in the real situation, irrespective of the type of delivery, be it normal or the C-section. Generally, the challenge is the formula milk are introduced on first 2 days. That's why I showed the slide showing that if we are having more and more of baby-friendly hospital initiatives, or we could stop that first 2 days of introducing the formula milk, then probably our challenge are little lower or lesser, I can say, because that is the most critical point where the mother introduces not only the breast milk substitute, but also introduces the bottle feeding, because I haven't much the reported cases, but few cases like poor antenatal services, checking of the nipples during antenatal care, inverted nipples or flat nipples, we in those cases doctor do prescribe them infant formula, but irrespective of those cases, generally also the doctors are I would not name it, but it is mainly in the private sector where they are being introduced for the first 2 days.
Yeah, and another point is, another critical period is about 3 to 4 months. Even if the mother is doing exclusive breastfeeding for 4 months, we've overcome the initial hurdle. This is again a very critical time, because that is a time when mother feels her milk is not enough. And she normally talks to the doctors and says that, can I start something else? And many pediatricians, in fact, I have been witnessing that many pediatricians also think that after 4 months, it's okay to start with the other formula milk, because earlier WHO, guidelines were saying that. And especially the old senior doctors who probably are not so well updated or whatever, I'm sorry, but that's what I feel, that many senior pediatricians I have heard, saying this aspect. So even this particular period, I think, needs to be focused by a pediatrician, where growth monitoring can be done, and the mother could be reiterated that, the child is growing well and she only has to breastfeed, and no other feed should be started. Normally mother starts with a night feed, then obviously the breast milk output goes down, and then that is the end of exclusive breastfeeding in any case. So this was just my, I don't know, since you are practicing, whether I'm right or wrong, probably you could tell us more on this, but this is what I understand from the data and the experience that, we've been having in discussing about exclusive breastfeeding rates problems.
Madam, you rightly discussing this point that really, no doubt, the responsibility is very high on the doctors, including the obstetrician, gynecologist, general practitioner who are practicing. But the fact is not only one side that doctors are not intensive. Problem is starting from the community-based practices, and that we are not starting from the beginning, because it's a social environment that gives, like आशुतोष से पहले बच्चे में तो हमको ऐसा था, दूसरे बच्चे को हम ऐसा ही करेंगे, So that type of the practice we have to start, and that is the thing. It's the ideal time is the discussion in the colleges where the adolescent and adult girls are doing their own study. At that time, we will start the actual promotion of this breastfeeding activity, give the importance how the breastfeeding help to them also and in the future also. And we establish this thing in the community level, then this implication is remaining very high. Because in these major hospitals like the government sectors, there will be enough staff is there. But in the hospitals, there is a very small setup. And when there is a one individual, single doctor with a single nurse is going for a delivery, they will try to enough to start with the breastfeeding exclusively. But if the any other person without their observation, they start the other feeding, it is very difficult to give them all teaching experience, and all this lecture is not practically possible. And definitely, I will say there is two windows at that time if we start the proper implementation of the education related breastfeeding. One is at the college level, and second is the starting of first antenatal visit. If we catch up at these 2 points, it will definitely give a good exclusive breastfeeding and promotional continue up to the 2 years breastfeeding practice. And that was the ideal point that we have to keep in mind. Thank you.
Yes, that's a very good window of opportunity that we have. And I think college students should be approached. And as I said, it's about both boys and girls should know about it, because it's the boys who have to also support their families, their wives. So, Shruti, I think this is a take-home message, and it's a very good point. I think we should continue with our, webinars, at least on advantages and ideal MIYC and practices. Maybe in our university, we try to propagate it, on various occasions. Maybe next week we have Nutrition Week. We could plan something like that. Thank you very much, Dr. Samir. It was an excellent presentation. Thank you, Shruti, also. And thank you, Vijita.
Thank you, ma'am. So we've not received many questions, but yes, the question which you have answered to some extent is whether or not mother is able to breastfeed. Big, small, almost all hospitals additionally give the formula feeds. So how can we ensure better implementation of the IMS Act? Apart from educating girls and adult women, as you said, what do you think? Like, what can we do to ensure that this act is implemented well?
As a wise citizen of the India, you have to give this direction, and if you find anything going abnormal, you have to report the authority. That already I described to whom you have to report. If you, it will be beginning, always anything is beginning from the home only. If each and every person take its own responsibility, it will definitely fulfill the things what we want from the IMS Act.
Thank you, sir.
I was just thinking, just a loud thinking, you may tell me, when we say that, Shruti was presenting that e-marketing sites, Amazon and other marketing sites, has a huge, market for breast milk substitutes. Can we not advocate to Amazon or to Government of India as IAP or as, nutritionists that, these sites should not be allowed to do such things unless a medical certificate or something is produced? Can we do that?
Madam, it is an international market first thing. And in India, all these things is already going on. But I just, if you see the international market, many countries are not so following judiciously this IMS Act. And that's the reason this marketing is still going on. In India, if you see any advertisement now, I have already shown you that is the picture. No picture of the infant and the mother is there. They are clear-cut writing all this details that mother's milk is the best. There is no substitute advice. They are giving all the details. But it will be the marketing will be always different from country to country. And where the relaxation is there, they are taking the advantage. So we can't take as a major step. Definitely, as I can say, IAP already having a clear-cut guideline. Nothing should be taken for the grant of the even any conference or any CME from this company. Even the mother company or even the sister company, they are not taking any grant from that company for the any even a social gathering or even our educational gathering.
No, but can't we tell, I mean, government tell or tell Amazon or any of these e-marketing sites, our own also many, that these cannot be marketed and these cannot be made available unless there is a medical certificate given by a qualified doctor. If we do that, that will deter to some extent, I think, the sale of breast milk substitutes. That's what I was thinking. Yes, I'm well aware of all other things that we as a country we are doing, but I thought these are few gaps that can be, we can at least try, make an attempt to at least fulfill, you know, if we can at least make an effort.
Yes, ma'am, we can make an effort, but basically what happens?
On Amazon, it is available on every next medical store. No one buys on the Amazon. So it is very difficult.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Every store. You go there and you will find it.
Yes,
You will not find
Yeah,
it.
that is true.
And ma'am, there is no prescription needed. So basically, the products is basically to be used for a medical purpose, but since there is no prescription that is needed.
That is what I'm saying. We advocate that we ask that this can only be given as a with prescription. That is what I'm trying to say. That is a question of, I'm talking of advocacy. What is happening that I know.
Absolutely,
I'm saying,
ma'am.
can we
But
not?
Ma'am,
no, absolutely right, madam. But they are selling it as a food product. They are not showing as a medical product, and that's a deficiency in our act. And definitely, we can try to promote that thing on the individual level. But as this is considered as a food product, it can't be given as a prescription-based product only.
ma'am, even the retail shops, if the product is going to get expired, they give promotional activities. They club it, buy one get one free activities, and they sell those products. So holding them, it is basically as a academician or as a pediatrician, as a gynecologist, we can create awareness amongst the people, and the choice remains to them whether they want to buy those products or not.
Absolutely. It is like cigarette smoking. It is injurious to health, and even though it's the highest selling product, we can say. It's like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Vijita. You can conclude now.
Vanisha ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Ma'am, would you like to share your inputs?
Definitely. So first of all, congratulations, Dr. Sameer and Dr. Shruti for excellent presentations. And since we have the secretary of AOPV, and we've been talking about IMS Act and about baby-friendly hospital initiative, my question to both the pediatrician here, what is the path next and what is the plan? And how we can work together to improve the MI/CN scenario and baby-friendly hospital initiative of our city, because we've been doing this as an alliance partner since now 2017. So I think we are very dynamic secretary this year. So I expect some concrete answers from you and let them be recorded. Over to you, sir.
Me or Samir bhai?
You start as a secretary. Samir bhai is a veteran. He'll continue.
Yeah. I think most of the things have already been discussed. We have whatever we already have planned. We just point is we have to implement all those things which are on the paper right now. We need not have to do anything extra to do to achieve some baby friendly hospital. Agar aap baby friendly hospital ke liye, whenever we approach any hospital, so whatever we guideline give, वो थोड़े टाइम के लिए वो गाइडलाइन के हिसाब से फॉलो करते हैं. They get the certificate baby friendly hospital and after that they start doing the same. So the thing is, as a association, we need to instill our members that empathy towards this particular subject, that breastfeeding is, यानी कि उनको पता होना चाहिए कि human beings are the most evolved species on the planet. If a baby human is not getting a milk from human, then something is wrong. There's something is wrong. उसको गाय का और बैल उसका दूध मिल रहा है, तो how it is justified? So I think plan तो अभी plan makers, policy maker हमारे Dr. Sameer भाई can add more things to it.
Okay, thank you. My second question, continuing to this only, is like we need to empower our own staff, our nursing staff, about correct positioning, latching, basically lactation management, right? So some trainings were done over last 2-3 years for the city, and those trainings have had very good results. We have feedback about that also. So can we join hands and plan something like that in future? Like a continuous training. It's just not a WBW activity, but something which it's retained over the entire year.
Yeah,
Exactly,
ma'am.
ma'am. Just
We
I
are
was
doing a national nursing quiz of this is a national level quiz we are conducting, and already 200 teams from all over India are actually registered, and we have conducted nursing quiz among different institutions, and the basic questions like whatever you are saying, the attachment, latching, the benefits of breastfeeding, and they have already been asked, and actually most of the nursing students actually know all these things at the institution level, but not at the private level. So you can definitely do something about it. Sameer bhai.
Yeah, one important thing that Vanisha madam emphasized that is really important, that is the emphasis of the continuation of that practice, and that is most important thing. मालूम तो सबको सब चीज होता है, लेकिन it will be the coming from the by heart, that is very important thing. Just for the completion of the any quiz purpose, or just for the starting of that promotional activity during the World Breastfeeding Week, that will not suffice, and that will be not strengthen these exclusive breastfeeding practices. But it will really require continuous observative care of the doctors, personal level, the each and every mother, and of course the nursing staff who are really directly contact with the mother and the society. And this type of the activity, not only at the institutional level, it is really required on the public platform. If it will be again and again doing this type of the activity on public platform, that will really emphasize excellently. I think last year, what the your home science student has excellently do that role plays at different hospitals, and that was a really good impact. I personally feel this type of the activity, if we come onto the public platform and we show the real attractive way to give our message, that will really help us to promote this type of the activity. One thing. Second important thing, what important is we each and every citizen has a responsibility to start this practice at their own home level. If it will be started by heart, then it is practically possible. Just giving the knowledge, but not implementing, not reinforcing, and not empowering them, that is not at all useful. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I think ma'am got knocked out. I've just admitted her back. Yes, sir, you are correct. Like we should, basically it has to be a holistic approach, maybe in-service training, other things, and the education part. So the alliance partners can collaborate in all those things, conducting various activities. Like you said, we conducted role plays last year. So we can, with the help of our students, yes, we can conduct a lot of activities. And as you rightly said, that not only during WBW, but throughout the year. So yes, sir, I think we should be working more often, more together more often, so that we'll be able to at least take care of this issue.
The meeting of our WW Alliance is much frequently. That is
Right.
required.
It is required, sir. Very soon we'll be planning one meeting.